Oh my lordy lordy lord. The devil has caught up. It's time to pay tribute and siphon back all the resources you gather from holiday ops and from the half of the year after the Object 780. So it's time to pay the piper, but only 15,000 vehicles available and only 5,000 with the skin. So it's a little bit more scarce than the Object 780. 5,000 less in total and 2,000 less skins. That kind of sucks, but it's a North America server, so different servers have different limitations or excess resource, I guess. But alright, prime time, 8 o'clock in the evening compared to 6 o'clock in the morning. So more people will be playing, and therefore you'll get a higher number of the marks of whatever of your vehicle if you manage to get it in the first 5,000. But it will go pretty fast. Originally it went from like, I think it was 4 hours after 6 o'clock in the morning to all the vehicles being sold out, or the skin being sold out, and after 5 days all the vehicles were gone for the Object 780. But this time it's a little bit more scarce, so we'll see how that goes. But let's take a look at the trailer and pay the piper his dues. Let's go a little bit faster.
From February 2nd through February 9th, a new Tier 10 tank is coming to the assembly shop. Get ready for an interesting and unusual Italian predator, the Lion. Vehicles are limited. For those who manage to catch it early, the Lion will be delivered with the Mark 1 3D style and a unique individual number. This style pays homage to the vehicle's history. The Lion was effectively a version of the Leopard 1, but featured a number of notable improvements. Although it never made the production line, the Lion paved the way for the future Italian tank industry. And with its 3D style, this vehicle closely resembles its spiritual successor, the OF-40 tank, developed in the late 1970s. In the game, the Lion is hard to master, but has great potential. It can be compared to both the Progetto 65 and the Leopard 1. In fact, this new hunter is almost as fast. It's among the first to take position, switches flanks quickly, and could outrace even the most long-legged gazelle. The Lion's great gun depression angles allow it to run free on the terrain, and its sturdy gun mantlet can withstand some hits, but the rest of its armor is a real treat for opponents. However, our hero's story is not about the armor. It's about a sniper gun with good damage per shot, great penetration, and of course, the auto-reloading mechanism. 4 shells with 420 hit points of damage each. Sounds great, right? But there is a catch. First of all, it's reload time. The long reload between shells doesn't allow for rapid attacks. However, with some measured shooting in the magazine mode, you'll always have time to pick the best target. Secondly, the auto-reloading time. The first 3 shells are reverse auto-reloading, like on the 𝐼𝙨-𝟰𝙤𝙤. This means the fewer shells in the magazine, the faster they load. So you can easily fire 3 times without the risk of losing your DPM. And that's awesome, except that
Alright, I like how they mentioned the major downside to this vehicle. It is an auto-reloader, but it's a little bit different than the Italian common auto-reloader for the medium tanks. It gets a inverse one, like the Russians, but for the last shell, or the first shell you reload, it takes the longest. So I already covered this vehicle to death like 4 months ago or something, but the first shell you reload, the last shell in the clip, takes the longest, about 20 seconds. The second shell is the fastest, so starting at the second shell, it's like the IS-3A or the KV-1SA that you got for free, in a sense, but save the last shell as shooting yourself or for emergency. That's the main basis, so practically, but it is slower than the Leopard 1. It is not as accurate and takes a little bit longer to aim, but it all goes for this weird auto-reloader, so you have to know about that to be wary of it, but it has potential, right? It's like the Progetto 65. Everybody thought the DPM was bad. It has versatility, right? With a pseudo auto-reloader, autoloader thingy-majig. So that's the whole basis of the auto-reloaders, but
it takes an entire 20 seconds to load the final 4th shell. That's something to keep in mind for random battles. In the heat of a fight, you'll always be tempted to unload the whole clip for the sake of damage. But
oh, fuck me.
Remember, this shell is literally a reserve shell. It's there to save you in a critical situation. Don't forget about it, but use it wisely. Save it until the end of the battle, when reload time doesn't matter anymore. Or keep it for an unexpected duel. The Lion's armor isn't built for surprise attacks. But when they arise, there's only one solution. Go ahead and dish out 3 shells in 9 seconds. But keep your reserve shell. 8 seconds of auto-reloading is much better than 20. And most importantly, do not panic. Just wait for the next shell to load. When the damage is done and the enemy is on its last legs, you can finish them off with your final shell. Of course, anything can happen in random battles, but the Lion has the potential to outshoot plenty of opponents. Even if you ignore the advantages of the magazine and consider the Lion a cyclic tank, you'll still get great damage per minute with the third shell. Plus, you'll have a reserve shell up your sleeve. Still, all this firepower potential isn't without its flaws. The Lion has worse stabilization than the Leopard and Progetto. It's hard to hit targets on the move. The top reverse speed is not the best either, but you can combat these disadvantages with equipment. First, the vertical stabilizer is a must. Then we have the turbocharger and improved aiming. That's how you boost your firepower and mobility. The second setup is for playing from behind the bushes. The stabilizer, coated optics, and low noise exhaust. These will help you cause damage without being detected. The Lion is considered a sniper medium tank for a reason. For most of the battle, it should carefully exercise its damage potential from medium or even long distances. You can use the terrain to your advantage. Combine the firing modes using the first 3 shells. Great damage per minute, good accuracy, and high damage per shot. All without risking harm to your paper-thin skin. That is, until you catch sight of your prey. Then, nothing can stop the Lion. Don't forget, these tanks are available in a limited quantity. Will you manage to catch the Lion? Time to find out. As in the previous launch of the assembly shop, you can assemble the vehicle using bonds, gold, credits, free XP, and blueprint fragments. To increase your chance of getting a numbered vehicle, plan your spending in advance and figure out which resources to use. You can check it out in the game client or the official portal for more information. If you don't manage to assemble the vehicle, all invested resources will be automatically returned to your account. From February 2nd through February 9th, the Lion, the World of Tanks assembly shop.
Okay. Yeah, it's the same mechanic as the Object 780, so spend all your resources for a vehicle that you don't usually play. It collects dust like the 780 in my garage. Oh no. I mean, it is my tank. It is my number. I like that about the different camos and other stuff. I mean, it's 3 different camos, technically, as you can see. 3 different versions based on the map, which is nice for a 3D style. So it varies. That's always pretty cool, but I don't really play this thing. It's also a 3-man crew, so a little bit more difficult to train your crews with this thing, but it's unique. That's the word for it. However, for the OF40 or the Lion, it's more versatile. You train all your Projecto 65 crews with this thing, so that fits. So that's nice, but let's take the resource conversion into account and let's take a look if there's anything different. So more limited in number or quantity compared to the Object 780, OF40, yada yada. It's practically the OF40, practically. So once the first 5,000 styles are gone, you can get the basic version without the number or the style, but yeah, if you already have the resource, obviously go for it. Alright, here is the resource comparison page. Now I'll pull up the 780 just for comparison because it's been a while. It's been half a year, but it's the same system. You can use your gold or free XP or credits or bonds or fragments. I think the most useless and basically you could just waste these is these things, but these have a limitation if I remember correctly. Blueprint fragments can only be filled up to 36% of the total vehicle scale, only 22% with national fragments and 14% with universal, so these are limited. These are vehicle fragments are more OP compared to these, and if you play the game as long as I have, you don't have a use for them since I already researched everything. So these are most useless ones for me, but most precious one is likely gold or bonds. So these 2 are more precious. I would recommend you using free XP if you already have enough of it, then to credits or fragments, but save these 2 for last. Save the gold and bond for last. Hold up. I wasn't born yesterday. What the hell was that? Combine. Okay. You see this? 8,000 free XP for 1% on the 780. This is the 780. It takes more for the OF40 or for the Lion. It takes 25% more. No. 500 bonds compared to 400 bonds. 1 million credits compared to 1,000,025. What about fragments? 20 to 1 and 32 to 1 compared to 16 and 25. What the freaking inflation? Why? Only the gold is not inflated. Oh my god, you have inflation too? By 25%? Also, you have the limitation of blueprint fragments as before, but the same limitation with the blueprint fragments. Also, they only go in whole numbers, so you can only use 20 at a time. You cannot use like 11 or 10, some obscure number. You have to use increments of 20 and 32. Wow, inflation. That sucks. Why is inflation a thing? I mean, based on basic economics, right? Basic economics 101. If you have the same amount of demand, but you have more limited resource or more scarce of a resource, obviously the price goes up. So, therefore, the more limited supply of the vehicles, therefore the price goes higher. That's stupid. It's still digital. That doesn't make sense. Fuck your economics 101. How to free XP and most efficient. Gold is most convenient. Blueprint fragments. For those who play a while and research everything, these are worth nothing. So I recommend blueprint fragments fully to 36%, but it has the limitation of using the whole numbers or increments of 20 and 32. So also there's a limit too. That sucks. So yeah, credits is the last. Or I recommend gold is the last, because gold is more valuable, and you don't be compelled to just skip this thing. It costs even more than the 780. Oh my god, with 4 actually means 3. Yeah, the last shell is for yourself to shoot yourself in the foot when you spend that much money on this thing. Okay, how to play the lion, watch the streams, yada yada yada. Well, the skin looks kind of nice, I guess. Well, they'll have to micropatch the skin in because I don't see it on the actual server. It's not in there yet, so I took a look at the script files. It's not available yet. All the way down to the Italian section, there's no OF40 skin, so Mark 1, I guess, but yep, that's the OF40. I rated it like a 7 out of 10 or 6.5? 6.5. 7.5, it's a premium. It's not premium. Just a regular. Yeah, just a regular tier 10 with bomb making capabilities. Yeah. I mean, inflation, what the frick? That suck. I mean, also it's more scarce too. I mean, for example, for my account, fine. I have the blueprints, I have the free XP, and the bonds, mostly the bonds. Bonds are useful, but everything got inflated. So, still recommend you using all these fragments to build up the initial 36%, then use the subsequent free XP and bonds, but yeah, vehicle fragments are more OP. You get vehicle fragments from basic daily missions, and if you already research all the vehicles in the tech tree, they automatically go to the newer vehicles, like the BZ rocket heavy tanks. So yeah, I have no use for the universal or national fragments. Recommend you using those first. But yeah, inflation is suck. It's a digital good. Why the hell are you inflating a digital good? I mean, how the hell would it cost for me? Let's see. Universal fragment, I can go up to 14%. So 14 times 280? Can I go more than 280? Nope. Alright, fine. Only 280. That's peanuts. And only 22%. Oh, what the hell is 22 to... Okay. A little bit more than 640? 650? Oh, the max is 704. Okay, my math is a little bit off, but whatever. But that means you have 32 in counts of 32. So it looks like I'm clear for most of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right, good enough. All right, then I have to spend. I likely will use free XP, so based on my calculations, I'll dump most of my free XP. So 500,000 free XP, only 86% after everything. That suck. Well, I don't usually use free XP. I just grind since all the vehicle is already research. Grind for the modules, but that's half a year's worth of grinding after the 780. It all went down to the toilet. Alright, 14% for the bonds. So technically I have to use 14 times 5. So math is hard. 14, 5, 6,000? A little bit more than... Oh my word. 7,000. Well, that's... I mean, unless you use gold. I don't want to use gold. Gold has so much more capabilities. Well, bonds also have so much more capabilities, but goddamn, that's a big ass chunk. Oh, there you go, folks. Just play around with the calculator to see if you have enough. Otherwise, FOMO, fear of missing out, you don't. It's inflated, so everything is inflated. Now, this is obviously no problem for a whale, but if you're just a free-to-play player, yeah, it's gonna be hard, especially with the inflation. Come on, what the what the frick? Why are you inflating the values? Oh god, inflating the cost. You sons of bitches. Well, as always, thank you guys for watching this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Now, you can watch the original videos for the review of the vehicle. So the vehicle is alright. I mean, I don't know if it's better than the Object 780. It is a unique vehicle, I guess, but it's a tier 10 that's not a premium, so it's mostly for collectors, practically. Yeah, practically for collectors, but the values got inflated, so that sucks. But I'll see you guys next time. Peace.